All right, so as we learned before, there's a lot of power in the vertex. So I'm going to write the vertex for my own sanity. And then I'm going to look over here at the multiple choice. I know when it's with the x, it's the opposite. So I'm looking at for the square root of x plus 2 and then minus 1. So that one's out, that one's out, that one's out, and that one's out. So I only have those two left. So now I've got to figure out which point it's going to be, or which one it's going to be. So remember how we picked another point? I'm going to pick another point here, which is the point 3, 1. And I'm going to plug in 3 here and 1, 3 here and 1. And whatever 1 equals is working. Did I do that right? Oh, just kidding. It's 2, 1. Okay. I'm sure you caught that. So 2 plus 2 is 4. The square root of 4 is 2. 2 minus 1 is 1. So that works. That means this should not. So I better double check. 2 plus 2 is 4. The square root of 4 is 2. 2 times 2 is 4. Minus 1 is 3. That one doesn't work. Okay. They want to know which one will be, it says solve it and then check for extraneous solutions. So these are similar. This one's plus 9, minus 9, minus 9. Square root of 3r minus 6 equals 6. Square root of 3r minus 6 equals negative 12. Sorry, it's kind of messy here. Then what would I do? Square, 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 square. So that would be 3r minus 6 equals 36. 3r minus 6 equals 144. Add 6. Add 6. Divide by 3. Divide by 3. But what they're asking for is checking for extraneous solutions. If I plugged in 14, this one works. But if I plug in 15, how can a number plus another positive number equal a negative number? That doesn't even make sense, so that one's extraneous. Okay, so if I asked which one was extraneous, you would say this one. If I asked which one is a possible solution, you'd say this one. Okay, let's go to this one. This one is dividing by negative 5. When I divide by negative 5, that's the same thing as multiplying by the reciprocal. So I'm going to multiply by negative 1/5. Let me do the left side first. X to the negative 3/2. Okay? Equals 5 over 5, gone. Negative over negative, positive. 1's on top and 27's on bottom. Remember when I said whenever you have a fraction, it means you're going to have a negative exponent, which is 3 to the negative 3. How did I get that? 27 is 3 cubed, but I need to bring it to the top, so it's negative. All right, now I'm going to multiply by the reciprocal, negative 2/3. Negative 2/3 by x equals, by a negative and a negative make a positive, equals 3 squared. X equals 9 plus or minus. Okay? Why is it plus or minus? Because it was an even root. All right. Square, square. So here's the mistake you're going to make. You're going to forget to square the 5. Distribute, distribute. Sorry, it's getting pretty messy here. It's cold in my room. Minus 25. Negative 21x equals negative 150. Divide by negative 21. Your calculator can tell you the answer, but a negative and a negative make a positive. I know both of those are divisible by 3. And then if I wanted to check it, I could do this times this, take the square root, it'll be a decimal. This minus this, this minus this, square root times 5, a decimal. As long as this decimal equals this decimal, I'm good to go. Now you want to be careful because what if I made a mistake dividing and then I'm like, no solution? Well, it might just mean that I made a mistake. So you want to be careful about that. So if you get, quote, no solution, I would go through real quick and make sure that you didn't make any silly mistakes. All right, next one, square both sides. Box it out. Square the first guy, square the last guy. Take these two, put them together. If you don't know what I'm talking about, you'll make your cute little box. Set it equal to 0. X squared minus 9x plus 18. X minus 6, x minus 3. So we got x equals 6 and x equals 3. Let's check it. If I plug in 6 minus 4, that's 2. 6 minus 2 is 4. The square root of 4 is 2. 2 equals 2. 3 minus 2 is 1. The square root of 1 is 1. But 3 minus 4 is negative 1. That's not equal. It's out. All right, more difficult. First, always add. Divide last, please. Divide by 3. Wait, did I do something wrong here? 243. There we go. 81. Okay. I feel like I made a mistake making this problem up because it's not going to work out. Shoot. Can you guys just pretend for me that it says 64? So just pretend it says 64. If it doesn't work out in the test, you made a mistake because I'm going to make sure it works out. So change that to 4 cubed. Multiply by the reciprocal. I get x minus 14 on this side. 3 here, gone. I get 4 squared. 4 squared is 16. Add 14, x equals 30. Okay? Don't try plugging in this answer, because you remember I had to change something, so it's fake. But I want you to get the idea. It's going to work on your test. All right. This one's a little easier. Take it to the 5th power. 4 to the 5th, I don't know what that is. 4 to the 5th. Oops, that's the 8th. 1024 equals by 2x plus 8. Subtract 8. Divide by 2. Okay, check it by plugging it in. I'm sure it works. Okay. All right. Looks like what they want you to do is describe all the transformations. Vertical stretch by a factor of 3. Horizontal translation, 6 units left. Vertical translation, 4 units down. Do me a favor. Don't do that on your test. Write it out. Use the words, oh. It's also asking about the domain and the range. So this sounds like a multiple choice question to me. So if I was to fake graph this, the vertex would be -6, -4. And it's a vertical stretch, so it's going like that. So I know that the domain is x is greater than or equal to -6. And I know the range, because it's going up, is y is greater than or equal to -4. I know my vertex is -6, -4. My end behavior, as x approaches negative infinity, it's not going to ask that, but if you look, it's positive infinity because it's going up. Equivalence. Oh, okay. When they're asking for equivalence, what they're saying is this is in rad form. So then if I was to write this in exponential form, that would be equivalent. Okay? And then I think that covers everything. All right. Transformations. Vertical translation, 8 units up. Now this is the one, I'm going to highlight this in yellow, not to imply the reflection, even though it has to be, but so that you see negative x plus 3, all of that is in the square root. So this is a reflection over the y-axis. This is a horizontal translation, 3 units left. Okay, so be careful of those things. All right, create a function. I'm guessing it's going to say that, so I'll go g of x equals a 4th root function that reflects over the x, means it's with the y. Horizontally shifts 2 to the right, that means left. Vertically compresses by a factor of 2/5. And vertically, oh, then I just go x, shifts 6 units up. Make sure, let me make that a little bit nicer so you could see it. Be very clear that these are in the square root and that's not. Okay. All right, we'll do the 3rd page with the 3rd video.